Okay, double honors to the elders and apostles of the millstone, Shalom to the one-third Israelites, which include the Judas children, Israel, Colchicus, Latinos, and Indians who are oppressed together, according to the book of Jeremiah 50 and 33. But to whom so late pertaineth the adoption, the giving of the law, the promises, the glory, and the covenants, according to the book of Romans, chapter 9. Namely, the blessing which you can read in Genesis, okay, where Esau said, "Bless me also, my father," because pretty much everything was given already to Jacob. If it were not so, why then Isaac said, "With what I shall bless thee," because he really knew, okay, there is pretty much nothing else what I can bless you with, because I gave you already. I can, because really there isn't anything, right? That's exactly how Esau feels, right? So how much more if we see these things happening, like here for example, the last war, how US-Russia conflict played out. So basically they are already in conflict, but you know, this basically means when it escalates pretty soon. A showdown between Washington and Moscow, Gog and Magog, okay, would be the worst outcome for both sides, and they know it. Okay, so let's start with Revelation chapter 20 and 8, "And shall go out to deceive the nations which are under the quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog," which is Russia, together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. See? So this is really a gathering of battle, man. Really beautiful, Japan, you know, in Hebrew. And we're looking forward to it, man, because we don't fear death, we don't fear war. Exactly the opposite, okay? We basically, you know, fear nothing, okay, especially not humans, and you know, we expect to be changed or to die, at least, you know, because both is really better than this life, to say it in a more quicker. Come. Hundreds of formidable tanks rolling down hills, thousands of high caliber guns unleashing devastating artillery barrages, apocalyptic nuclear explosions, millions of deaths and indescribable sufferings. That would be how any potential military conflict between US and Russia would play out. Exactly. And what does the Bible say? What does the Bible say? About 2/3 of Israel being judged to death, to pain, to war, to famine, eating their own flesh, like back then, okay, when we had judgment raining on Israel, you know, for not hearkening to the laws and the prophets. Ezekiel 5 and 12. "A third part of thee shall die with the pestilence, and with famine shall they be consumed in the midst of thee, and a third part shall fall by the sword round about thee. And I will scatter a third part into all winds, and I will draw out a sword after them." "Thus shall mine anger be accomplished, and I will cause my fury to rest upon them, and I will be comforted, and they shall know that I, the Lord, have spoken it in my zeal when I have accomplished my fury in them. Moreover, I will make thee waste and a reproach among the nations that are round about thee in the sight of all that pass by. So it shall be a reproach and a taunt and instruction and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgments in thee, in anger and in fury and in furious rebukes. I, the Lord Yahweh Shai, have spoken." So you have to imagine how heavy it lays on the spirit of the heathens if they see Israel like this. Okay, look at our people. It's not common that they see a one dirt on 144,000. You know, in the internet it is, but not so much in real life. So, you know, if you have somebody like that around you, you know, you are basically lucky guy, first and foremost, but also, you know, it's not common, you know. So what they see is two dirt jakes all day, okay? And guess what, man, how much heavy it is, how much more heavy it is, because it's an instruction, so they know, oh, we the Lord's chosen people, okay, because this is out there, okay, there's so much scientific evidence anyway, that they would think, oh, what is then our end if he would judge us, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, their God, when he judges Israel that hard, you know? I mean, look at the two dirt jake, man, in this world, man. From escalation to the end, a Ukrainian drone hits targets in Donbass, the port of eastern Ukraine, under the control of breakaway rebels. In an uninspected turn, the local Moscow-backed militaries will retaliate with greater force than usual, and Kiev's forces suffer heavy losses. This inspires Ukraine to launch a large-scale military offensive after the first major airstrike. Russian troops crossed the eastern border ostensibly to prevent a humanitarian disaster. Dozens of videos showing military hardware moving through cities and villages turn up on social media. Okay, so they post pretty much, you know, every stuff also there, man. Okay. True stuff. You know, I'm just saying, you know, don't say download social media, you know. Just saying that they actually sometimes post heavy stuff on there, you know. But you will see it anywhere because some of your family or some of your friends or, you know, brothers send it to you, right, on WhatsApp or so. An American military instructor is killed by Russian artillery fire the guards. Okay. And the Cold War between NATO and Russia is quickly sliding into a hot one. The world is spiraling into chaos as two massive military forces are getting ready for a long, feared confrontation. This is more or less a picture that has gripped the imaginations of some of the more extreme people praying for a Moscow Washington showdown. For several years now, relations between Russia and the United States have left much to be desired, and warnings of potential military rumors popping up with increasing regularity. Another search started in November this year, and Bloomberg alleged that Russia may be preparing to invade Ukraine. It says military action could mean that we stand off with our ships in the Black Sea. It could mean that we participate, and I would not rule that out. I would not rule out American troops on the ground. We don't rule out first use nuclear action. Okay. Revelation 20, that's my answer. On 15, you know, you have to be quick to move your sword, right? You know, and this is the quick answer, man. Whosoever Zalachia was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. See? So it will be that way, or as I said, famine and different other things to bring death upon earth and people change their bodies. Shalom.